Hey there folks, my name is Kern. Welcome back to my channel. This is update, I think it's 4, about the Great Blizzard Bank Heist. For those of you who are just tuning in now, I advise you to click here for the playlist, which will explain things a bit better. But the long and short of it is that during patch 11.0.2 in mid-August, people lost a lot of things out of their guild makes. And Blizzard is not restoring them. So you can see here, I'll explain the light parchments in a moment, but you can see here that my leatherworking tab, my mining JC tab, my old patterns tab, my alchemy enchanting tab, and my engineering tab are all empty. And I am missing, barring the light parchment, bunches of stuff in miscellaneous and herb inscription as well. And if you look at the logs, you don't see any green hills of Stranglethorn. You don't see pattern red linen robe. You don't see a lot of this stuff. In leatherworking, you don't see pattern white bandit mask, technique glyph of evaporation, pattern mooncloth bag. You don't see any of that in here. Like if we look, it's completely empty. And it has not been withdrawn, right? Same goes for mining JC, although the logs are kind of not available. But with old patterns, where's enchant two-handed weapon superior impact? Where's design heavy fell steel ring? Where's pattern bracers of havoc? They're all gone. This continues in the tabs where the logs work, but my point remains the same. Blizzard stole our stuff and they're not giving it back. And that is maybe simplifying things a bit. So I would advise you to please go check out the playlist wherein I do a deep dive. That said, thank you for coming back for yet another update. I wanted to say that it has not been a very fruitful week for me. I've been working at this, trying to get people to make noise about it, trying to reach out to people about this. So you may recall in my last update, I mentioned that I had written to the PR address for Blizzard and they haven't gotten back to me. It's been a week. I don't expect that they'll get back to me, which BTW, rude. I also tweeted at Holly Longdale, the executive producer of WoW, and Ian Hazakostas, the main dude or whatever. I don't even know what his title is these days. But I know that they're both very high up there in the WoW sort of hierarchy. And neither one of them tweeted back, which also kind of rude. Also, I had to log into Twitter. Ew, that place is such garbage. I strongly advise you all to leave Twitter and go to Blue Sky, where it is not garbage. It's much better. It's nicer. People are nice there. It's shocking. Anyway, so none of those people have gotten back to me. And I've also commented on Soul So Breezy on at least one of his videos where he did mention it. And I commented, I believe, on at least one Bellular video. Nothing back there. And like a couple weeks ago, I had written to Bellular directly. I had written to Wowhead directly, and I'd written to Blizzard Watch directly. And I like to think that my email to Blizzard Watch gave them that extra oomph that they needed in order to mention it in their podcast, which is now, 3 or 4 weeks ago, which is great. So thanks again for the coverage, Blizzard Watch, but they didn't write back to me either. So all of these people, kind of on the rude side, which is a little disappointing for me. I enjoy content from these people in general. I use Wowhead daily. I do use an ad blocker though, not gonna lie. But I was polite. I'm a Canadian. I am polite even when I'm angry. When I'm angriest is actually when I'm my most polite. And so I wrote to all of these people and none of them got back to me. So we don't have any material updates, sort of. And I'll get to that in a sec. As I record this, it is Monday, October 21st. Ooh. It's Monday, October 21st, and it's like 9:30 in the evening. And that means that tomorrow, Tuesday the 22nd, or Wednesday the 23rd, will be the 11.0.5 patch, which is the anniversary patch. And I want to talk a bit about that before we continue with the bank stuff. Because one of the things that they're going to do is they're going to make your guild bank stuff accessible for crafting orders. Now, as a player who does do crafting orders, that's fantastic. Love it. Love it all day long. You know, go with God. You're doing the right thing. My problem is that I'm scared that they're going to do something to the banks again. Plus, they're doing stuff to warbands, to do with currencies and So, as a, shall we say, precautionary measure, I have dropped one sheet of light parchment in every empty bank slot I have in the guild bank on any tab that had anything in it. You can see that, I did not deposit, this stuff recently. Because I'm lazy. I would just right click. And so, this stuff is there from ages ago. And there was stuff all here, right? Anyway, so it was a pain in the butt to get all these light parchments out and separate, but I did it for that tab and I did it for that tab. And then everything else is just bloody well empty. So doesn't really matter. The war bank, or the warband bank, is slightly different. I actually use this. I have 2.7 million gold, and I've got a whole bunch of stuff. This stuff is warbound a lot. A lot of it is. So if I level some of my tunes, they will inherit some of this stuff. I'm actually really pleased to get this axe because it looks sick. But anyway, I've put light parchment in the empty spots. So that means that tomorrow, once the servers come back up, which is estimated to be at 3 p.m. Pacific, which is 6 p.m. for me, theoretically, I should be able to see if anything went awry. And I'm also going to record myself going, okay, well, that's 8 handful of pebbles, 36 soul sigil 1, etc., because I don't trust these people at all. So that's what I've done with that. I don't really care. There's nothing in my region bank on my bank. In my bank is very little stuff because it all existed in my guild bank, or now the warband bank. I really don't have a whole lot. I have plain letters. This is where I keep them. I don't put them elsewhere. Anyway. But yeah, I have too much stuff. I've got this war fuel from I don't even know when, and I would be sad to see it go. Anyway, all of that said, when it comes to the war bank and the guild bank, I've got light parchments scattered about in the empty spots so I can see if anything has gone awry. Do I recommend that you do the same? Not necessarily. Screenshots, video, whatever. Just be sure you know what you have. And I'm not just talking about your bank and your guild bank and your warband bank. I'm talking also maybe your void storage. I just took a quick look today on Kern. Void storage seems to be in order. I've honestly been afraid to look because that's where I keep almost all of my most important stuff, filled with memories. I can't even fathom losing some of that stuff. Anyway, it's crazy how we get so attached to various pixels. But here we are. All right. I am going to now swap over to my browser. So one moment, please. All right. So this is, of course, the US thread where they keep putting us, I guess. It sort of feels like being put into the corner as punishment. But at least they haven't closed this yet. And more on that in a moment. So currently it's now over 11 hours to read through the whole thing. 542 users, almost 42,000 views, almost 27,000 likes. People are talking about, why they're scared of tomorrow's update or this week's update. It's not as active as it has been, and people are unfortunately replying to trolls, so try not to do that. But if this has affected you, please post on the forums. I will link it in the doobly-doo in the description below. And like I said, don't engage the trolls. It's not worth it. Having said that, somebody in here, and I'm just trying to find it, said that they had a restoration. And I cannot confirm it myself, but someone claims that they've got a restoration. Also, hello, disgruntled player. That's so rude. People are still annoyed. Cross-faction realm bank is still stripped. Here we go. As Porispo of Shark Tank on what realm? I guess it doesn't really matter. On Ragnaros. Says, I have 2 guild banks that I only use for my alts, one for Alliance and one for Horde. All my items were missing since Blizzard had this problem. Today, I checked again. The Alliance bank had the items back again. The Horde bank is still missing everything. So let's hope eventually we get all of our items back again. I cannot confirm this is the case. I do not know as Porispo at all. They could be trolling. I will like it in the hopes that they're telling the truth. Randy, the rogue we saw earlier, says that their stuff is still stripped. Are you saying one of your banks was completely restored? And there's a reply, but it's not from the original poster. It's from Rodolfo, who says nothing. Yeah, I've got nothing new either. I checked several times. I check regularly. Anyway, so we're still sort of waiting to hear back from that person who claimed that they had their stuff returned. Meanwhile, in the EU, we're still seeing activity in their thread. There's not a ton of it, but there's still some. This person's like, more than 2 months have been going on now, no mails or anything. Waiting on 8 tabs worth of 7 to 8 million gold worth of pets, toys, BOEs, mats, bags, etc. Had this bank since 2011, now all gone. I get replies more or less from an AI. This person is getting empty mail messages saying this item was found in the Twisting Nether, but nothing is attached. Things are still going in the EU English thread. Again, not as popular as the US, but still 119 users, several thousand views, couple thousand likes. And then I decided to go looking at the French forum and the Italian forum because I'm fairly fluent in French, being that I live in Montreal, Quebec. And I also speak a little bit of Italian. So I went to the rest of the European forums for those two, and I couldn't find anything about the bank in the Italian forum. I suspect I may be using the wrong word to search. a bank is una banca, right? A bank. But they also seem to use that for the Great Vault. So every time I looked up banca, it was referring to the Great Vault. So we'll leave Italy aside for now. But there was a thread in the French one on the 14th of August. This person saying, hi, everyone. Since 11.0.2, all of our tabs in our Banque de Guild, which is Guild Bank, are empty. There is only stuff left in tab 1, but not much considering what had been there. And then this person is like, same for my guild. Same for this person. Same problem despite, since today, which is the 15th of August. Same since yesterday. Idem, I guess. Not idem, but I guess it means the same since yesterday. After my request of Blizzard services, one response boat was sent back to me. I will therefore remake my request until I get the actual correct response. I think that this will be rapidly resolved, but well. Same for me. Then I can't even pronounce this. This person says, hi, we've received a number of reports similar after emergency maintenance yesterday afternoon, and this has been escalated to our developers. It's not a hack, I assure you. Please note that for the moment, it's not necessary to make a request. The GM team cannot help resolve this bug on our side. I thank you for your patience and offer you my all of our excuses for this inconvenience, basically. Me, the bank isn't empty, but I can't take anything out, even though I'm the GM. He can deposit things and take things out, but take the things out that he put in. But he can't take out things that were already in the bank. All the tabs are empty. The person said, it's not a hack, I assure you. He's like, I assure you, I am not assured. You gotta love the French. And basically they've only had like a little bit of back and forth here. Just basically saying it's the same for our bank. They call Blizz Blee Blee. Go file un rollback Blee Blee, assumez votre incompétence. Go do a rollback, Blizzard. Accept, sort of not the right word, your incompetence. Fix your competence, acknowledge your incompetence, something like that. So yeah, they had the same sorts of things going on here. We're still back in August, but you'll note here, that was the support item. And of course, it's in English. And so they're like, well, here's the response translated into French. And so they gave it. They're like, for shame, Blee Blee. I love it. It's great. Everything is empty. It's shameful. Yeah, so they went through all of this. And same as in the US and in the EU English. But they got their thread closed after 300 responses with 97 users and 4,000 views. He says, hello. This subject seems to keep going in circles, so I'm going to close it. We understand that the situation is frustrating. Que cela soit au niveau de l'attente. Whether it's waiting for the resolution of the bug, of the original bug, or the fact that many of you have not received full restorations. We wish we would have wished for a different result, and we understand your frustration, your upsetness, basically. Our goal is always to guarantee that the systems of the game protect that which you and your guild have worked for. These situations are extremely rare, and we hope that we won't see this sort of thing reproduce itself again. If you would like to continue this discussion, please use the general discussion forum, and you can also submit a suggestion directly in game. So this then brings you to just the general forum. They don't even have like a thread for it. They just closed the thing and sent you to the general forum in French without creating a thread or using a thread for it, which I think is also rude. So yeah, that's sort of where we're at right now. Things are still missing. Unconfirmed reports of restorations. People are nervous about the patch this week. I'm nervous about the patch this week. And also, all these people aren't writing back to me, which I still find incredibly rude. I find the Bellular stuff to be the rudest of them all, because, I've paid for his game. I've played his game. I've supported him in, being a viewer and clicking the like button and being a subscriber and all that stuff. But none of these people are making me want to give them any money. Had I gotten responses from these people, maybe I would have supported them. Maybe I would not use an ad blocker on a WoW head, and I would actually pay to remove the ads. If Bellular had gotten back to me, maybe I would have become a patron on Patreon. Anyway, I find it really depressing. We will see what happens in the coming week. We will see if there were any major issues with patch 11.0.5. I'm still, I don't want to say that I'm still playing. I'm still subscribed, which is unfortunate, but that's just the way the billing goes. I am going to give them probably until the end of November to get everything sorted out and then call it. But I really don't know. I don't know where we go from here. Anyway, do let me know if anything happens to you in your bank with regards to restorations, with regards to more things disappearing, with regards to the warband banks. Let me know if anything goes horrifically awry in the next week. And I'm not even touching on things like missing rep and things in void storage and achievements, and it really makes me sad, because this seemed like it was going to be a good expansion, and I was excited for this and Midnight and whatever the third one was, but it's really, really just sad. On another note, I highly recommend you read the book Play Nice. I believe it's by Jason Schreier. It's the book about Blizzard's rise and fall. And it was really interesting reading. So, highly recommend that. And on that note, folks, let's make some noise. All right? I'll catch you next time. Thanks so much for watching.